Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and in absolutely obnoxious and infuriating news, we have to talk about opting in to things because by default, if you're just opted in without your knowledge, that should be a crime. Slack, I'm looking at you. Reddit is also on the chopping block here, after some news that they are starting with AI as well. But we've got to talk about this because this is absolutely infuriating. And if you don't know what Slack is, and you're probably not in business then because most organizations are using Slacks, Teams, etc., but Slack tends to be that popular one, especially for tech teams, cybersecurity teams, and just company-wide communication information. It's an instant messaging platform that is closed to the organization. It's very robust. Tons of people use it, been using it for years myself, personally and business-wise, all that kind of stuff. And we got some news that just recently came to light, and I think this is total BS. Now, there was a great write-up on this in TechSpot by Zoe Ahmed, but I think this just should infuriate everybody because this is the indicator of where we are going in society if we don't rein this in. And so here's what's going on. Slack has basically been consuming all of your messages, all of your files and data to essentially train its new AI features behind the scenes. Now, what's even worse than this is that, again, we are opted into this automatically. We didn't know, we didn't give consent. They just did it. And so essentially this blew up this past week on Twitter, and I am late to the game. It has been a busy week, but I'm usually on these kinds of things. And Corey Quinn, who's an executive at the Duckbill Group, essentially saw this and basically posted it online on Twitter, and I quote, "I'm sorry, Slack, you're doing effing what with user DMs, message files, etc.?" And now, what he posted was part of Slack's privacy principles, and that reads, according to Slack, and I quote directly, and I just looked it up, and you'll know why soon, quote, "To develop AI/ML models, artificial intelligence machine learning, our systems analyze customer data, example, messages, content, and files submitted to Slack, as well as other information, including usage information, as defined in our privacy policy and in your customer agreement," end quote. And so obviously, if you've been using Slack for years and years and years and years, they probably changed this. And that's something that is absolutely huge because I had no idea this was going on. And I read privacy policies before I sign up for things because that's the kind of nerd I am. Now, Slack was quick to respond to that post. I don't know if that was automated or not. It felt kind of automated as I was reading it, but they essentially did confirm that they are using customer content to train certain AI tools within their infrastructure. But Slack also drew a line saying that data isn't going towards their premium AI offering, which they bill as completely isolated from user information. And so, do we take them at their word? Everyone basically is pissed about this. I mean, Slack did not make this clear from the jump at all. There should have been some kinds of heads up. They basically should have let us opt out immediately, and even the opt-out process was absolutely horrible. I had to go in and read their flippin' privacy policy to find that little section, searching for the word opt, and I had to email a specific email. I had to basically say a specific subject line phrase, and then I had to give them the URL for my particular Slack instance. And so, yeah, we need a law on this one ASAP. And I think that just goes without saying. And so if you are opting out of Slack, here's what you do. First things first, you email feedback@slack.com. Again, that's feedback@slack.com. Your subject line must read Slack Global Model Opt-out Request. Again, Slack Global Model Opt-out Request. And then give them your URL. And so this obviously is a huge, huge problem, but it really underscores the issue that we've got. If we don't have laws that govern this, that basically say by default, we have to be informed and we have to give our consent to opt in, then that's an issue. Now, here's the thing. They're all doing it. Facebook's been doing it forever. And the problem is that we learn after the fact, after they've hoovered up all of our data, and at which case that's gone. And if they say, oh, we're keeping this private, we're training AIs, I refer you to the ChatGPT issues that researchers found where they were having it spit out random numbers. And at some point, ChatGPT started hallucinating doing and dumping out random PII, which means if you're storing a password or something in Slack, it's going to get dumped out there. So this is a huge problem. This has got to stop, and we need to start making laws that essentially do this. Europe's got it, but here in the United States, we are super behind, and by virtue of that, that's an issue. And while individual states have laws, it needs to be universal no matter what. This really, really, really sucks, and Slack, you broke my heart. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where they're probably doing the same thing. Same with YouTube, where you can subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, just please, please, please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.